right?
Yep.
Or could be, and still be competitive, probably.
All right, let's move. Are you sticking with us here, Track?
Yeah, I can do one more. Sure, that was
All right,
great.
what are we doing?
We are on Teetery versus Wodar, and we also shaved off like 15 minutes. We're halfway through, so excellent work, you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Teetery Wodar. Oh, let me find the picks and bans real quick. I'm not gonna do the splash just to save a little time, but Teetery versus Wodar. This is a silver.
Wodar banned both verandas, and Teetery banned both balconies. Boom, boom. Just like that.
Well, there you go. And then Wodar picked up Courtyard NE47 Courtyard Prime.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to pick that up for a second.
Wodar.
Courtyard Prime
Wodar.
NE47.
Somewhere
And then-
cameraman is nodding.
Yeah. Then Panopticon NE5 of 8, and then the second Courtyard NE4 of 7, and then Pub NE4 of 7.
I like that Wodar denied his favorite map. Picks just the trolliest alternative possible. Pretty much. Just what's the weirdest thing I can pick out of what's left? Clearly Courtyard.
Well, the interesting thing with the setup is you definitely want to pick up the map that is the least likely to get picked by your opponent, because if your opponent happens to pick the map you're going to pick anyway.
Right.
You know Teetery's probably, or any sane person, is not going to pick Courtyard Prime. So it's
you don't
very
you don't run a panop pick into me, probably. Basically, is what we're saying here. Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, correct.
All right, so let's get started.
Okay, stepping in, and it should be Teetery up as spy first on Courtyard Prime, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, he picked the other Courtyard with his second pick too. So Wodar, all about the Courtyards today.
Courtyard 1 is basically Courtyard 2, but a lot more sniper favored.
Yeah, it's Courtyard 2 without, the goodness.
Banana bread.
Good snipers really need to focus fingerprint on Courtyard 1.
3 lowlights. 4 if he gets polka
those are
dot.
high quality lowlights too.
Well, was it 1 or 2 of them at statues already? If you can knock out statue highlights early in the game, oh boy. And a purloin.
If I'm the sniper here, I'm really happy.
Well, and you're really happy now that you think you've just nabbed him for a purloin, although time will tell how sure he is of that highlight.
So, I mean, Wodar's playing behaviorally here, right? So he's got good quality information on the party, but there's a hard tell past him at this point. I don't think he knows that Teetery was the person who took that list.
Right. So I actually think you have depending on how, assuming he's not a huge suspect for that purloin, assuming he's just one suspect or, 1 of 2 or 3 or something like that, I don't know if he'd be in huge trouble if he could manage to flirt in fingerprints. He might get away with that, but there's no way he's going to get his 2 statue visits in now, I don't think. No,
I think you're absolutely right about that. I think he's got to try and get the flirt, try and get a fingerprint where he can. Oh, I like that path.
Oh, yeah, I like it. Absolutely.
It's a little weird looking, but it's kind of AI weird looking.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
We really need the group. Well, we don't need it, but it would be nice.
No, you're right, because you're thinking ahead here. Like, it's really hard to rush 2 fingerprints in the last minute.
So, Briefcase back in the Emba's hands here. I don't know where the fingerprints are at this point.
And you got to get rid of that drink so you have options when they pop up.
Hard swap here might be an option, actually.
I don't mind it. Maybe, just a green, and then when it goes off, you're just nowhere to be found. I think that might work. And that's what happens.
Yeah. The disadvantages of behavioralism. You can, Wodar's in a strong relative position in terms of party information, but he's not going to live long enough for it to pay off.
Ooh, okay, so no cast member and no low light taking the statue. That's good. It's not a highlight, though, and he sees it. He sees it. Nope.
Yeah, very nice. Very good camping.
Yeah, very good job.
Just strong hybrid play from Wodar there. Behavioralism when you need to, camping when you need to, and it comes off on a shot. It's just that was well played.
I was just going to say, they say there's no atheists in foxholes. There's no behavioralists in the last 20 seconds of a game when someone approaches statues.
That's probably true, especially after a highlight.
We're all campers when it really counts.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
But well played by Wodar.
All right, stepping into Wodar, shaking out a spy. Wodar kind of picked up the easier one, so it's even actually respond with a spy one, which would be really interesting. Mm-hmm. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Go.
I gotta be honest, I thought there was a really good chance that was gonna work, but he was on it, and he got a nice clear view too. If it happens when he's not looking, that's a very tough shot, but he was all over it.
Very fast move there off the watch check.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I don't know if that's just me, but I definitely notice stuff like that and get very suspicious of it when people don't hang out at windows long enough. But I've noticed a lot of people getting away with it, so maybe I'm atypical there.
Banana bread.
1 low light is all he should get there. Whoa, what was that?
That's either.
Oh,
Oh,
very nice.
wow.
That's what
I
that
love it.
was.
I love
That's
it.
what
I think that was good. Yeah. Maybe it's just me, but I thought that was very AI. I think it was gutsy. I like it. I like it
Yeah,
a
that was
lot.
nice. That was
I don't know
nice,
if he's
nice
playing
looking thing.
someone who's going to low light for it, though. There's certain players where that's a high risk, that's a gamble, but there's a huge payoff at the end. Maybe I don't think Teetery is as likely as some. If I do that
Teetery
against
and Wodar
drawn,
have basically some of the longest history of players in the SCL. They have played each other a lot. A lot. I think they played each other in all 3 seasons. They've been in the same division.
yeah, and by that at that point, everyone knows everyone's tricks. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to get your low lights that way. But I still like it. I just thought it was really well executed.
That's a questionable place to stand. We need the green now. Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, unless Teetery is, you're afraid he's going to pair you. That's. I mean, you're standing all the way across when you just need, one more flirt.
Yeah, this isn't Courtyard 2. You can't go inspect swap or something and then flirt one more time or flirt one more time and then go inspect swap. You can't get your inspects done in one visit, so time matters.
He's got to be thinking bug here, I think. That's probably what makes the most sense.
Yeah, it's not a bad position.
Yeah. Oh,
doesn't go for it. Oh, that's not good.
Here comes the sniper camera. Is it going to stop?
Closer than necessary for the last flirt. Might as well stand across at least, right? Although with the way pathing's been going, maybe just get in there. It
doesn't matter at this point. We got to do missions.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sure, statue, but I mean, we're gonna have to do the swap off of it probably, and then get another inspect.
Purloin to distract from swap. I don't know. I think a static vision is gonna get you deaded.
So we're high lit now. Statue back down. We have 1 inspect. We have 30 seconds.
I don't know what the plan is here. Just immediately to another statue?
No, this doesn't make sense, Wodar. What are you doing?
Unless he's going to use it as an excuse.
Yeah,
for
if it's a bug
and
and excuse, then it makes sense. Let's see.
But that's
not the great position you want to be in for a bug excuse, yeah. So we're doing basically every suspicious thing someone can do in the last 30 seconds of the game.
Oh, but there's a fingerprint, but it doesn't matter because it looks like an inspect anyway.
Yeah. And
well, he's not shot yet. Waiting for overtime? Wow, he hasn't shot yet.
No, nothing. 4 seconds.
Here it comes. Here it is. Here it is. Yep.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about that to me is he wasn't hovering around yellow danger at all. It wasn't like one of those things where he was looking for confirmation and suspicious at the end, waiting for overtime. It almost looks like he was just rotating, and when overtime went off, yellow danger was in front of him.
Yeah, I think he was awaiting the timeout there and took his best guess shot when it went to overtime.
Yeah, I do not think that was a particularly certain shot. Teetery can correct me if he's in chat. I don't think he is, but I don't think that was a shot with certainty. I really don't.
I agree.
Yeah, for 2 wins for Sniper on Courtyard 1. Actually pretty close on both times. Very reasonable for Sniper to win.
Oh, yes. I mean, the sort of hidden thing about Courtyard 1 is that it's actually kind of an awkward angle for the Sniper compared to Courtyard 2. And that can take some getting used to. But let's go ahead to the next one.
All right. Stepping into Pen Up Any 5 of 8. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Also, I want to say that snipers are kind of uncomfortable on Courtyard 1. So, if one side is more uncomfortable, I think the sniper is more important to be comfortable on a map than the spy. You're going to do spy stuff either way.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of early highlights. Oh boy, I guess Wodar, I assume trying to pair flirts here.
One thing that actually, going back to Courtyard 1 for a second, one thing that's actually sort of interesting about Courtyard 1 is if you think about it, Courtyard 2 has, whoa!
Oh, okay. White Purloin and
that'll do it.
You were saying?
Courtyard 1, after we died to the old Purloin there, has got 3 statue sites to the 2 statue sites, essentially, of Courtyard 2. So it can be a little awkward for a sniper who's really used to playing Courtyard 2 and just going check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2.
Right.
It's a little bit more granular than that.
Well, you have to remember what your starting statue is. And you have to rotate the same way when you count them.
Yeah,
which it sounds like a minor difference, but you're absolutely right. It's much harder. A couple times, even when I'm careful about it, I have to kind of remind myself, okay, which one was it? Was it front right or front left I started from? And you have to rotate consistently or remember what your original rotation was. That's not nothing. The cognitive load, it matters.
Agreed. All right, pen up.
All right, stepping into the next map. Wodar stepping in a spy, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing.
I think that Purloin is a real shame for Teetery because there were a lot of early highlights of AI there, and that can be a big trouble later in the game on Panop if you don't get rid of them.
Yeah, Wodar wants you to cast the 4th match there. Warning track, that's why we saw that shot.
Well, if it keeps going at this pace, I probably can.
Yeah, it makes sense to pick up this flirt for sure.
Yeah, don't get fancy here. Early flirt, by yourself, Panop, no worries. You're not going to
Emma's in a sort of buggable position here. She's not standing with a great pillar cover, but
yeah, off she goes.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, if Bondo had entered that conversation, I think she would have stayed in a very buggable position.
Maybe let's get the briefcase. Yeah, that looks like it's what Wodar's plan is.
I think that's solid. Early fingerprint.
Yeah,
again, give yourself options. Yep, especially on Panop.
And if you're lucky, the Emma will move right about now. Yep, there we go.
Oh, beautiful.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
Oh, but we can't flirt at the bookshelf because Amba goes there instead.
Unless you wanted to do 3 to bookcase, which is just an instant shot, as Wodar well knows, right?
As we all know.
Yep,
yes,
yep.
of course. It's the hardest of hard tells. New players, don't listen to me. That's a joke. I know people are in chat asking questions. I don't want to give them the wrong idea. There's not even agreement about how suspicious it is. So.
It's mildly suspicious.
That's where I come down. Maybe
that's my
the
stance.
argument is it mildly suspicious or moderately suspicious?
I think it's a mildly suspicious.
Well, I think it's a moderately suspicious. that's our Hatfield and McCoy in SpyParty.
From 1 to shot, I think it's like a 2.5.
There we go.
Maybe a flat 2. I don't know.
So decent progress here. I like this. Well, he puts the book back, so I like it a little bit less. But he's got 1 flirt, 1 fingerprint. BB's done. 2 minutes left. A lot of options. And he's got to decide, though. He's got to start winnowing those options down now that he's got that flirt done. And I'd love to see him go do one of those other things now and then come back and flirt afterwards, whatever it is.
Not in a great position to Purloin here.
No. Frankly, the Amba close enough that you can watch the guest list.
Yeah, we're waiting for the bug to go back in, I'm pretty sure. Based on the Spy's camera, I think he's waiting for that yellow bug to go back in, and he's going to go pick it up.
I think you're absolutely right. And I would be careful. You know, you've already done 1 briefcase. Don't be too obvious about it. You really got to be careful with those Purloins, too. I was noticing specifically that the Amba and the Purloin tray were in the same shot. And when a Panop sniper can look at both of those, there's really no reason for them to move much except to glance and see who's entered statues. That's not when you want to do it. At least force them to pick which they're going to look at.
Well, we've already waited long enough for there to be a hard fingerprint now on Yellow Bookcase, so I guess that wasn't the plan.
Ooh, no, bad decision.
No.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I don't know what General did to earn the highlight. Let's, I'm going to take a brief look just because I'm a little curious.
He's had the highlight, I think, almost all game.
He went to left statues, which is interesting. That
near
he
the beginning,
shot from
right?
Center statues, yeah.
Yeah, very early. So.
All right, so 3-1 favor of Wodar then, as we move on.
I'm actually a little bummed out. I wanted to see what he was going to do there. He had so many choices, and he was just about to have to commit to some of them, and I really wasn't sure what he was going to do. But now we'll never know.
Yep.
All right, stepping into Courtyard 2, Teetery as Spy, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
More traditional Courtyard, Teetery as Sky Blue. Could be a bug here if you wanted, but the camera angle is perfect to prevent it. He just takes a kind of odd, circuitous path around the map.
Courtyard 2. Everything makes sense again.
Yep.
The world is not crazy. Oh, nice little early flirt. Straightforward, textbook. Let's see if it's green. That's really all you're waiting for is it going to be green, yes or no? It is not.
No big deal.
No, not bad. Not too bad at all.
Courtyard 2, kind of one of the more established metas in the game, along with Balcony, I'd say, probably.
Ooh, red dress being very helpful. Statue to statue, kind of hanging around.
Gonna get low lit now, though.
Red.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, right, yes. And he should be able to get snaps here, too. Yep, and that's going to be it, though. That's okay. I'd say the over-under is about 2.
Textbook, typical game of Courtyard 2 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is less than typical. We're going to go for a
not
very early swap. We're going to get the inspects along with it. Yes, we are. I like this play. It's that kind of unconventional thing you need at this level to play to throw the sniper off this game. No one really expects to swap at 2 minutes in unless it's a hard rush.
Yeah.
He does get the highlight for it, but
Yeah.
he just needs to live now. Like, now
Yeah.
you throw a BB up there or something.
Yeah, well, especially because look who took the statue.
You want to
It's
not
the
look
red
at
dress.
it.
Oh, is he looking at it?
Don't look
Hasn't
at it.
gone
Oh,
off
he's
yet.
staring at it. Yeah.
There it
now,
is.
Now he
He's
knows.
ready.
Boom,
He's all
there
over
it
it.
is. Yeah. Very nice.
I like the move though. I think if he doesn't catch it red-handed there, so to speak, I think he'd be in a decent position because even if you narrow it down, even if you say there's been a swap, I'll low-light anyone who's not high-lit, you only have to get away with 1, maybe 2 flirts.
Yeah. I would have liked to see a BB there to distract, maybe.
Well, I think he's worried. At that point, he doesn't necessarily know that the person picking it up is already, well, he didn't know if they're going to be low-lit or high-lit. And as it turns out, a highlight picked it up, which was great luck, except for the fact that he was so on it.
I just don't want him thinking about that statue. I want him thinking about other stuff.
I agree. It's a very clear trade-off, but I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a case to be made both sides. But 4-1 Wodar, so he's got 3 game points here.
Yep. All right, and we're about to step into the game. That game might have been one of the rare circumstances you want a low light grabbing the green statue.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he has to watch the statue visit from a highlight like that point in the game.
That is a fantastic point. If it's a low light, he maybe doesn't look. He rotates again, doesn't see if it's green or white, and then he hesitates, and you flirt, and it's over. But you're right. That's a great point.
Or
Incidentally,
even
that's
double
part of
agent.
the reason for BB to throw it off, because you put the low light on that person and you're like, I don't care anymore.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
Unless they remember that it could be green, of course, which Wodar might well have done, in which case it's a moot point no matter what.
What we just described, that's what Yomi, in my opinion, is supposed to be. It's not, will I pick orange dress, yes or no? Am I the Monopoly man, yes or no? Would they do that? This is what it's supposed to be, I think, at the highest levels.
Correct. And he might have been able to get away with the DA if he hasn't BB'd. I think one of the things that people don't do enough on Courtyard 2 is hold on to the BB. BBs are coming at great times throughout the match. And if you use the second BB, people are be like, okay, what are they trying to distract me from? Why is there another BB going on?
Yes. Yes.
Anyway.
They're more likely to think they're being distracted than they are to think that the first wasn't real.
Right. Okay. And starting in on Wodar as Spy on Courtyard 2 in 3, 2, 1, go.
Now, I always like to see what a spy does in a situation like this, where they're maybe not
270-degree turn is the answer to that question.
It's not great. When they have a big advantage, are they aggressive, or do they hang back and take their time, knowing that they can win any sniper game and it's fine?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, what do they do?
Yeah, we maybe needed to not leave the window right away and just see where he was.
Yeah.
We got a green test, so it doesn't really matter. But we could have been in a better position for that flirt, but just a little bit longer.
Yeah, and that's another kind of quick window leave. This is a bit of a thing. Wodar, if I were in your league, I'd be taking notes.
The advantage of doing that is that it looks like you got there first and the SD came to you.
Yes.
But I don't know if that matters against Teetery so much.
Right. And Courtyard 2, how often are you going to be paired with a seduction target anyway? You're much more likely to be noticed for bailing on windows.
Surprised. It's actually a strong map for flirt pairing. And I say that not as the sniper who flirt pairs, but as the person who has been shot. Oh,
really?
Okay. But as the person who's been shot many a time for paired
Did he get it? No, did not get the fingerprint. It was a difficult fingerprint. But when you get those, when you get those difficult fingerprints, it's almost a free mission if you follow up on it.
That's not with briefcase. It's a little more iffy for me because the sniper has to know that was the second fingerprint.
That's true. It depends on. You have to hope they're watching fingerprints suddenly, which is, you're right, very iffy.
It's kind of a unique mission in that way, in that you can be punished for the sniper being less attentive.
You're right. The only other time that happens is sort of when you get away with a purloin, you take a drink to seem innocuous later, but if they didn't notice the purloin in the first place, you're holding a drink and there's the list gone. That's happened to me a few times as well.
We are definitely behind the ball at this point. We have one more flirt to go, and we have a minute left. We have done nothing else.
Yeah, and not many highlights. What do we got here? 2, I think? Yeah, 2. And there's Wodar with the fingerprints. I don't know why at this point.
Yeah, it's basically it's the slowest remaining mission.
And he gets marked for it. Wow. Okay.
Oh, gross. Terrible looking entry.
That highlight, I think, if it's not for pathing or something, I think it's for exactly what you mentioned. Hey, he did briefcase twice. I'm not sure if the first was difficult or not.
Oh, we're going way fast now. I mean, it's basically what we have to do. Yeah, we're going to run right to BB. Oh, no, not.
He's going to get shot like right here.
Oh my gosh, what are we doing?
Okay, so Teetery's camera made it very clear that he was noticing all the movement. It did one of those things where it stopped until Wodar chose a spot and then started rotating again.
Yeah.
Like, where's he going to go?
He was noticing the activity for sure.
Yes.
So Teetery brings it back 4-2. He's going to have to sweep.
Pub. 4-7.
Indeed.
I like it.
Stepping into, this is any 4 of 7 pub with 16 guests. Teetery as the Spy, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
I just think of this as crowded pub now.
That's
Is
fair.
is this crowded pub? It is
No,
crowded pub.
I think, well, there was, I think Crowded Pub had a slightly different number of guests way back in the day when it was
Yeah.
introduced, but this is how I think of it now. It's the crowded version of pub played at a competitive level, so close enough. And I like it. I actually find it's moderately balanced. I find it's a mode. I actually picked this in overtime. I think against you, Slappy, right?
I believe that is the case, and because I banned it
Yeah.
out because I know you like it, and I
Right.
just haven't played many pub maps.
Right. Well, and we talk every week about how the trick with overtime is, do you want to play something like balcony, or do you want to try to tempt them somehow, to play to do something other than snipe? And I actually thought this was a mode where I was comfortable enough at spy that even if you wanted to snipe, I'd be okay with it.
The only problem I have with Crowded Pub is that it's got the most difficult hardtail in the entire game of SpyParty to guard, and that is, in terms of resources it takes up, and that is Purloin on this map.
Yeah.
With this many guests,
Right.
is just really, really resource intensive for the sniper.
Yes. Right, which is one of the reasons it's more viable, and I just really appreciate a high-level map, something other than balcony or modern, where you can play spy and not be mad that they chose to snipe, in overtime or something like that, and be genuinely comfortable on either side of it. I'm not going to say it's balanced or anything, but I think it's a lot closer than a lot of the other new art maps.
We're just going slow here to start. Going to pick up our second third of 3, and we'll see where we go from there. We're down to under 2 minutes remaining, so we're going to have to step on the gas a little bit.
And there's Wodar, low lighting the general, even though he already had a highlight from earlier, just for going to the statue, drinking, and leaving. And I was just about to say, I thought he had a few too many highlights, and he got rid of one right then, so I think he probably agreed.
Communication through time again.
Yeah, there it is.
Players, yeah.
And I like that, by the way. I feel like not enough people do that. They have their rules for highlighting or low lighting, and that's good 90% of the time. But when you notice that your rules, maybe just through random party behavior, have gotten you bad luck, and you have 5 or 6 highlights, you have to switch it up. You have to make hard decisions and do something a little aggressive. There goes the Purloin.
Oh, laser. We get low lit.
Oh no! The flip side of what I was just saying. I think
We get low lit.
he gulped it too, and it's a difficult fingerprint. Does not get it though. But with the Purloin off, I don't think Teetery knows this. Teetery does not have to do anything right now other than BB.
I mean, Purloin is done. Oh, we're just gonna get shot
Maybe
off
not
on the
even
twin.
that.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the twin who'd been to 2 different statues, if I remember right.
And just like that, Teeter goes from being down 4-1 to being 1 game off of forcing overtime.
Yeah, I thought a BB was going to be enough to induce a shot, and not even. Once he got away with the Purloin, that was pretty much it.
All right, stepping in the next game, Wodar Spy on Crowded Pub for 7, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
And if you're Wodar, that one got your attention. Now you've got to win this to avoid the overtime.
Yep.
But it's, again, very viable to win as spy, so not so bad that he's in that role. Good low light, very good awareness. Yeah, Teetery.
Yeah, that was
wow.
that was very solid. Yeah.
I knew that was a bad BB when it first went off, but I didn't realize how bad until and Teetery, by the way, I think got every possible low light. I don't think he missed any.
What impressed me was not so much that he got all the lowlights, because you can see all the lowlights pretty clearly on this map. There's kind of a building to divide your
Yes,
lowlights
the
from your
building helps a
non-lowlights.
lot.
But the efficiency and the speed with which it was done,
Yes.
and then he returned to doing other tasks, that's very important. Like, if you spend 15 seconds going, oh, that person, and then I need to zoom in, like, you can lose a game that way very easily.
Yes,
Very
it was methodical, and specifically low lighting the people outside first, because those are the ones you're not going to be sure about in a quarter second.
Exactly. It was a very, very strong way to low light.
Yeah, and I don't even think it was a decision. I think that just shows really good
Training
habits.
and reflexes.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
total reflex.
Exactly.
Yep. And now
that's so
Wodar in big
important.
trouble.
That's so important as sniper. The more you can just have your brain automate for you, the more conscious resources you can divert to other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's very important to have those kind of just really good habits.
Yeah, there's a loads of neurological research about how people are less stressed when they have more routine in their days. The less you have to think about on a granular level, and it certainly matters in a situation like this, which is all about cognitive load, as we mentioned earlier.
It's a subject that's particularly near and dear to my heart as a sniper, of course. in good shape here as Wodar. We've got Seduce and DA done, and still a good amount of time left on the clock.
Yeah, good shape in terms of just raw time, but in party terms, look at this. Not only do you have all those lowlights, but no highlights.
Yeah, I've got to be. I'm definitely thinking about the bug with this spy character. I want to kind of camp in, maybe deep in the building somewhere behind a pillar, and see if I can sneak a bug somewhere. It looks like he's going to get a drink. I wonder if it's for a purloin reason.
Let's see here.
Almost has to be at this point, right? Why else do you go
Right.
to the bar? Yeah.
Well, and there's no downside to leaving yourself the option, so. Fingerprinted drink, too, and I wonder if that was accidental or deliberate.
The briefcase into purloin is probably going to be the play.
Well, how about fingerprint into fingerprint? He fingerprinted the drink, then picked up the briefcase, boom, boom. Well, see, he doesn't need to furloin now, necessarily. He could just inspect. I don't know. He really wants to bug. Oh, it was not visible. I don't think it was visible. I don't know. Teetery's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you look at the sniper cam,
yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. In the sniper cam, he sees the beginning of that little dance, but I don't think he actually sees the bug go off. Let me see here. I was shocked. Yeah, he just saw him. Yeah, he just saw him kind of bump into him, but the actual arm, he doesn't see the arm at all. He's able to deduce what happened, but it was actually kind of close to not being seen for a second there.
Yeah, Wodar might have won that if he hadn't wobbled it around there a little bit at the beginning.
Right, because I'm looking at this and I can't see the arm at all. I just see him run into him a little bit.
All right.
Now, here's the thing. I think at that point he made up his mind to bug, but is he going to get shot for an inspect there? I'm not positive he does.
So we're off to overtime then. Teetery forces it, coming back from 4-1.
Yep.
And
But
it looks like it'll be his choice to snipe on Wodar's pick of standard balcony.
Yep, so remember, he banned both balconies, knowing that Wodar would pick them, but in overtime, he has to face them anyway.
And he chooses to snipe. So here we go.
All right, stepping into balcony, which I'll note is a very normal map that Wodar chose. He could have had any map, and a lot of time, random people, but he is feeling it. You can tell he's feeling it by not doing something memey.
Yeah, if he hadn't been denied his normal balcony game earlier in the match, maybe he would have, but in this case, he's got to get that fix.
Alrighty. All right, stepping in on an overtime match. We haven't actually had an overtime. Real quick, each player is going to get to pick a map type, and then the other player gets to decide whether or not they're going to spy or snipe. This is a normal loadout of balcony, and Wodar chose to spy on it. All right. Unless I forgot anything, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, Wodar needs that fix, man. He can quit anytime he wants. He can stop playing balcony.
Oh. Awkward redirect, but a justifiable one, given an AI landed.
And the end of red.
White BB to start the game off. That's not how you want to do
Not
that.
what you want, especially with no one else talking now. Yeah, it's raw overtime. Every game is worth a point in the standings.
Yeah. Can I just point out that Wodar would get shot for what Wodar just did if he were playing himself? Wodar
Does
would shoot
not
Wodar
do the
for
flirt talk, interestingly enough, which is probably the most suspicion-losing thing you can do at that point. Although now we need to do 3 flirts, and we were the white test BB'er.
Yeah, he's not next to him. I would have probably hung out a little bit longer. There we go. Wait, leave without talking at least. Oh dear, nope. See, because here's the thing. Maybe you get a low light. If you enter a conversation, don't talk and leave, maybe you get a low light. Maybe.
I mean,
but
we're already at a time where I think, unless this is a green flirt.
That helps. Yeah,
unless this is a green flirt. Yeah,
it is.
All right.
So you remember in the very first game we cast of the night, I mentioned that I really like those situations where the only spot available it doesn't matter. Wow. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
That's
was
actually
worried about the green.
It was impossible for him to be done there, because either that first DA talk was the DA or was a seduce. It couldn't be both.
Actually, when you mentioned that at the time, I thought that was really interesting, because I actually think you have to be hyper aware and really be thinking about things as sniper to register that. To register that, yeah, they talked, so I'm not going to lowlight them. But wait, if they talked and that was the BB, then they didn't flirt, which is kind of a complicated thing to think in the moment.
It's a very aggressive shot from Teetery. Earns him at least the draw. He's got 1 point. He'll go for the
what a comeback.
The really big comeback win here on. Let's see what we got next. As soon as it loads,
it's any 4 of 8 new art ballroom, and Wodar is going to end up spying on both.
So Teetery will get to snipe twice.
Oh my goodness, you don't see that very often.
I do think that these are pretty fair picks. I can defend both as being neither of them are too strange, but of the map pool, they're up there with the 50% coin flippy Sniper Tonight. Or
that's true.
I guess I shouldn't say coin flippy for Neural Ballroom. It's a very fair map. It's not coin flippy like Ballroom.
Yes.
Or
No, I know what you're saying.
But it's one of the more balanced maps. All right.
Yeah, coin flip meaning even, not meaning random.
Right. Okay. Yep, stepping in, normal amount of guests, it looks like. I like to check, but I believe this looks right. And starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
The only time offhand I can remember someone getting to snipe on both sides, I think, Slappy, it was you and me in our second match, actually. I think you sniped both times, didn't you?
I think so, because we usually pick pretty, again, like 50% thing, so it's very reasonable to snipe both times.
Yes. Early statue visit for Wodar, and he gets the highlight. Oh, and a swap. Okay. It's a green at least, but if he's on this, he's going to get this narrowed down in a hurry. There's only been one other statue visitor.
If Teetery has memorized it all, she should put a bullet through Wodar's head right away here, because no one else has been there.
But you know what? I do have trouble memorizing those max statues sometimes. Let's see. Let's see if she sees it. I don't think she's going to see the animation. She's not going to be watching close enough. Yeah, she's zoomed in on the list, so she's not going to be able to narrow it down beyond those, let's see, 3 or 4. Now, I think Hair has a highlight, but not for statues. Is that right? So
it was a green swap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'm dumb.
So here's the question. So for Teal Dress, for Walt Disney, and for Wodar, those are all statue visitors. I think Hair got a highlight for something else. The question is, when they see the swap go off, is Teetery going to remember that one of them was for a non-statue highlight?
Wodar's. Oh no, he almost got away with it. Yeah, the piece is just falling into place there for Teetery. Wodar. I don't think close to pulling off the rush there. Teetery just wasn't quite behind enough as Wodar wanted her to be.
I actually don't think Wodar was in terrible shape from the swap. I don't know if I actually am not convinced that it was totally noticed even by that point. I don't see any indication on the sniper side that it was definitely noticed.
Yep.
And if it wasn't noticed, then he was going to cruise.
Well, Teetery with the big comeback there.
Wow, yeah.
I think that was a good decision, by the way, to rush at the end. I think that when you're sniping for the last game and it's the difference between a draw and a win, you really want to be sure. And if you could sneak past where they just get one mission more than they think, and they think they have another mission to give, it's quite strong.
You know, Bacon did that to me once. I think it was in a ladder match. That's what happened. He was slow playing me all game, and I was mostly on it, but he got me a couple times. And at the very end, he did one rush, and it worked.
Oh! Apparently, there's a statue animation that got him shot at the end. That might
When the shot went off, I remember thinking, well, was it an animation cut? But I didn't see one, so I assumed it was the Purloin instead.
Yeah, it does look like there's a cut animation, which explains why he suddenly whipped over and shot him, like he was very certain.
Yeah, that was a little surprising, but okay, that makes more sense.
That's a bummer because I think Wodar had a real good shot there.
Yeah, it was a good rush. It was a good rush ongoing. All right, we're on to the last one of the night. You leaving us track, or are you sticking around?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
All right. That should be a week 7 match of KCM versus Kletos, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
All right, let me load up the scoreboard. Okay, and so yeah, this is week 7 match, KCM versus Kletos. Since you're native diamond, what's the context for this match? While I look up the Pixie Bands.
So Diamond right now is a big mess, basically.
Because we have so many matches outstanding, maybe.
Right, and they're mostly my matches. So I'm going to play all of them tonight, so have no fear. I'm literally going to play 4 matches in a row tonight. It's going to be good times. So a lot of it's unclear because we're not exactly sure where I stand. If I get any points, I'm basically in at least 2nd place. Bloom is the one who is in command right now. Kletos is struggling to stay